following will contain spoilers for Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Thank you! Hello again, everyone! Welcome back to Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Best Character Awards. This time around, I am going to focus on the Gelflings, which I will explain later. The list is going to be a bit shorter this time on the account that there has been only one season of this series, and also I felt like at least we should get some recognitions for these characters despite their recent banishment for Netflix. Also, feel free to grab some tissues of what I'm going to discuss next. So anyway, the Gelfling trio and the Gelflings entirely are a race that are trying to fight off the tyrannical rule of the Skeksis, the ones who have been polluting the land since they first appeared. It's not going to be easy for them to try to destroy everything that's been sundered and undone, but at the same time, if you've watched this movie Dark Crystal, you would see where it would go and why it would be hard to watch this series. But I'm still gonna put that sorrowful notation aside and decide to go over some of the best Gelflings based on their attributes. Attributes that are so amazing and moments that are so wonderful that we can't help but feel hooked on just watching these guys doing whatever they can. And sometimes we have their personalities that are so enlightening or funny that we can't help but want to laugh our heads off or even just cheer them on as they take on the tyrannical Skeksis and just hope for the best. And there were a good amount of Gelfling characters in this. Personally, I would have also thrown in Hup in the mix, but we wish there were more paddling characters. Anywho, I felt like we should go over the top 5 best Gelflings in Dark Crystal Age of Resistance based on those qualities alone. Bear in mind, these are my opinions alone and you don't have to agree with them, but without further ado, let's begin! The furthest Gelfling to the right is actually Katavra, or Tavra for short, a very loyal sister to both Celadon and Brea. She's a very good sister and tries to look out and do what's best for everyone. She even tries her best to be the guard, helping people whenever possible, even if it means getting hurt in the process. She takes her cat duty as castle guard very seriously, but she's also one where she's willing to listen and hear out everyone else, hence why she always has such a great title. It was unfortunate that she had a short time, especially when she was controlled by the Aratham, but ironically her relationship with them is what triggered the alliance in the first place. Her aura just inspired the song Loyal, Brave, and True for me, because that's how she is basically in a nutshell. She's loyal to her sisters, to her mother, to the Gelfling tribes. She's very faithful to Brea, as well as she's a very honest person. She's never afraid to speak her mind, especially when it comes to certain situations. Despite her short time, and I really wish she had a longer show at this, she is a very capable and strong Gelfling who would have also sparked more arm into the resistance had not been her fate by the hands of Skeksil. But I still put her number 5 because she is an awesome sister as well as an awesome warrior who's not afraid to stand up for what is right. Gertrude's sort of like the laid-back kind of guy who tries his best to do his work. He's sort of like the dry humor of the group. In the beginning, he comes off as a regular old castle guard who tries his best to make sure he does his duty without getting caught or getting in trouble, and a very good friend of Rian's. Whatever situation Rian puts him in, it always is a huge drag-out. But he is not one with a certain level of sass, especially when the situation is not in his favor.
I don't think it matters at this point, but you could have just asked around.
However, more of his character shines when Rian shows him the truth of what happened to Mira and practically risks his life to help him out. He even goes as far as to protect Rian while he is mercilessly being tortured. Because of his deep bond with Rian, you can't help but feel a high admiration for them. As well as Gertrude is practically the most loyal friend in the entire Dark Crystal series. He'll never turn your back on anyone who is in need, and when you're a friend with him, you're practically a friend for life. Which is why I put him number 4, is because he got the chance to have more show at what he can do. Oh yes, I am actually going to go over the 3 main trio heroes of Thra. First one up is none other than Brea, the Vaprin princess. Despite her pretty look, she's far from being a damsel in distress. She always loves to learn new things, though her sisters and her mother don't always appreciate it, and sometimes they always feel like her thirst for knowledge can get her into a whole lot of trouble. But she definitely proves herself, especially when she takes on a Vaprin conman.
Your payment. Seafa do nothing for free. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, fine. Aughra, lend me a hand here.
Not only is she very smart, but her questions definitely gave her an interesting perception of the Skeksis after that one fateful encounter in the first episode. Not only that, but when she tries to look into the truth of what the Skeksis were doing, she had a vision that changed everything that she knew about the rules and regulations, and thus resulted in her having to find the answers herself, no matter who stood in her way. Not Skeksis, not even Elder Kadia. Though sometimes her search for knowledge can, of course, lead her into a boatload of trouble.
Hello. What's your name? What's my name? Hello.
It seems you've completely erased Elder Kadia's memory.
Hello.
I'm in so much trouble.
Okay. I'm sorry, Brea. I just had to add that in there. But one of the bigger reasons why I also put her on this list is also because of her solving puzzles. She's not called Brea the Clever for nothing, aside from swapping Null Root. And in her defense, the Elder Kadia had it coming. Anyway, One of the things is her amazing ability to recognize a solution to a problem in a unique way than what everyone would already perceive. Brea also finds herself trying to be open up to lesser clans and learned that all are one, not just separate, which resulted in her relationship with Lore. Strong, clever, and willing to open her mind to everything, Brea is practically one of the best Gelflings this show had to offer. Like Gurjin, Rian was a castle guard, trying his best to prove his worth to his father, but sometimes was like a young, spirit-hearted man who loves to make fun. Anyway, when Mira died, his whole world took a change for the worse. His outlook on the Skeksis, everything. Being outcasted by his own clan, and now having been burdened with the truth, he now had to try to figure a way to prove his innocence, as well as try to convince all the Gelfling to rise against the Skeksis, which wasn't easy for him. But despite what he was at the beginning of the episode, Rian definitely grew as a person, as well as trying to give off a more air of respect to the situations at hand. He even went as far as trying to convince the enemy, the Aratham, that they're more worthy of an ally than the Skeksis are.
Free all the Gelfling under your control, and fight with us against the Skeksis.
Arathim did not defeat Skeksis.
Gelfling cannot defeat Skeksis.
But the Arathim and Gelfling together might stand a chance.
Just that small speech alone gave you a sense of respect for Rian. Not only is he such an honorable warrior, but he is someone who tries to give everyone a chance to be heard out. Even his relationship with Deet definitely shows there's more to Rian than meets the eye. Unlike the rest of Stonewood Gelfling, he definitely treated Deet with a little bit more respect, as well as someone who viewed as not as a lower classman, but a Gelfling in need. Rian is definitely someone who is not as prejudiced as what was originally believed in the beginning of the series. He is someone who was willing to give a hand to anyone who needs it the most. And considering his great sword skills as well as his sense of leadership, he definitely was something worthwhile. Before I continue, here are some honorable mentions. So we have Mayrin, or Aughra. She is Brea's mother, and at first, in the beginning of the series, we definitely don't have a very high opinion of her after what she had done. But in her defense, she is trying to do what is best for everyone, but she didn't have any clue of what the Skeksis were really about. By the time that she learned about everything, it was too late. But till the bitter end, she showed of how much of a leader she was by trying to refuse and stand against Skekvar, even though it resulted in an untimely demise. And I wish we had more with her. Same goes for Ordon. He was a war veteran of the Aratham Wars, as well as his father. Ordon tried his best to understand his son, as well as trying to make up for his son that time, as well as sacrificing himself, which is still to this day painful. So both of their backstories have only been found in comic books, but I definitely wish they had put it into the show, because it would have given the characters more depth and a sense of respect. So, Netflix, please do me a favor. Please, 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 bring it back. Bring back Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. We really need it right now. Oh, you knew this list would not be complete without this precious girl. Deet was practically the most down-to-earth character anyone could ask for. She was such well-written, as well as someone who's willing to risk being blinded by the three suns but also hold a sense of innocence to her that seems to attract everyone, both old and young audiences alike. She even has that capability of bonding with everyone she goes. She is willing to hear everyone out, comfort them when they are in pain, as well as tries to help out whenever possible. Even her relationship with Brienne definitely brought out more of his character, as well as give her a sense of inner strength.
From his cave. They threw it here first. That makes you gotten too.
Despite what the Aratham had done to her brother as well as her father's, and of course nearly killing her, Deet still wanted to help the Aratham. And that definitely shows of how large her heart is, just risking everything to save the people she cares about. With the absorption of the darkening, she gained unwanted power and consequences that we have yet and possibly may never know. Because of the darkening, Deet had no choice but to absorb that power in order to save everyone during the Great Stonewood battle. Not only that, but Deet also had to give the Skeksis practically the taste of their own medicine. Congratulations, Deet! You have won the Best Gelfling Character Award in Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. I hope that sometime soon we can see you again in the near future. And that's all, folks. Thank you for joining us for the Great Character Awards. This is Dragon Videos ready to sign off, but before I go, what Gelfling was your favorite? Do a comment, subscribe, and do a like. Remember to try to support our channel as well as just get ready for the new year. Please remember to stay safe and please be very careful out there during these uncertain times. This is Dragon Videos signing off.